Hey guys, I'm Roxy,
I'm Annalisa.
and we're the
Nerd
Nerd Girls. Welcome to our second episode of the Nerd Girls. I'm so excited, and we're actually going to be answering some questions. I asked a few of you on Twitter to ask us some questions, and we're going to answer them. So, we're just going to go.
First, we should say, you guys have been so nice already, and we literally just started. Like, the first few days, you guys responded. Well, a lot of her followers responded so well. Like, thank you guys.
I want to give, a shout out to these amazing people. First of all, it was Landon who kind of made our whole banner and stuff and our Avi, and then we have amazing people like Anthony who's so supportive, and just all of these people that I've been kind of interacting with through the years. I've made a Twitter in 2013, and you guys have still stuck with me, and we're in 2017. Holy fuck. What is so appealing about me? Just kidding. So I'm so excited, and I love the fact that I get to share this with her.
Yes.
So thank you.
Couldn't do it without each other. We need each other.
So when one's awkward, the other one helps to not make it so awkward. So we kind of balance each other with the awkwardness. Mm-hmm. But we're going to answer some questions for you guys really fast. So Landon asks, what was the first comic you ever got into? P.S. Love y'all. Psh, I love you too.
Thank you for this one.
She'll answer first.
The first one that I remember reading that was an actual comic book was Batman Hush. It was in the 800s.
Oh my god, so was mine. Oh, that's so weird.
That's why we're best friends.
We're already synced. Okay, she could keep going, but that was mine too.
Was
holy shit.
Because that was the cult one at the time too. That was super popular again. And that was the first one.
And then Jim Lee. His artwork is so beautiful. Honestly, we agree that he's our top comic book illustrator. It's just so funny. This wasn't planned, you guys, I swear.
Yeah.
That's the first one I read too.
Yeah.
First physical copy I bought, and it made it very intriguing. And plus, like you said, well, we're not from a big town. We don't have a comic book store. We don't even have
to order everything or get it digitally. We can't just go, hey, let's keep up with every brand new one.
We don't have a Barnes & Noble. We don't have a Hastings. Rest in peace, Hastings. We don't have anything. Like she said, it's either digital or we have to order everything. But honestly, that's hilarious. The first one to get me into comics was Batman Hush. And then after that, it kind of opened the gateway to just being so intrigued with all sorts of comic books and graphic novels, and the list could go on, but that's so funny, you guys. That's so funny. Next question is from Nemplays. I'm sorry if I said your name wrong, but I think it's Nemo? Oh my god, if I say your name wrong, I'm so sorry, but you've been really nice to me. You sent me some really cool Wonder Woman stuff back then. He asks, who from the DC Universe, hero or villain, would you want to see on the big screen and why?
That's a good question.
Honestly, before, I don't want to start controversy or drama. Like I said, this is opinion-wise, but I'm kind of tired of the whole Harley and Joker taking over everything. We all agree that the Joker has always been one of the best Batman villains, but I feel he's so... Him and Harley, they're lovable characters, but they're just so... It's DC's here, Joker here, Harley here, there's so many good villains out there, and I feel
and some of the best storylines ever have obviously involved the Joker, so we're not degrading him, but it's they need to shine lights on the other ones finally now, because there's so many good ones with other ones too.
Apart from them, because I feel DC always goes back to
Harley
because she's a favorite, or the Joker because he's a favorite.
Yeah, because that's mostly every storyline has to do with the Joker.
But you know who I've always found very, very eerie and creepy is Scarecrow. If you were to ever gas me, I swear I'd be buried alive with bugs.
Yeah.
That's my biggest fear is to be buried alive with a bunch of snakes and bugs. What's your biggest fear?
Snakes would be mine, not bugs. Mine would be snakes. Those are my literal fear.
It's
phobia.
It's here's your phobia. I'm gonna throw it in your face.
Of upcoming ones, it would be cool to see Cheetah later on.
For Wonder Woman, that'd be really cool. That'd be really cool.
Fingers crossed for that.
Another Dark Knight asks, what's the oldest comic you own?
Well, I don't own like a single issue, but I own like the first archive volumes of Batman and Wonder Woman. Those are the oldest ones I could say. They're like in volumes, and those are the oldest ones that I have.
The very first comic that I own, it's very old. I can't say what year it is, but it's pretty old. It's even like worn out, and it was given to me by my guy friend Jose. It's an Avengers comic, and I remember he's actually kind of the one that kind of opened the gateways to, because he has shit ton of comics. Like that guy is like a comic book store, and he's really nice.
He should open one then.
Right? He should. We'll work for him. And he basically gives me a lot of his duplicates, which I think is so cool.
awesome.
Like he'll be like, here, you can have that, or he'll like show me some, and then the ones I want, he'll be like, no, you can't have that one. I only have one. But so he'll be like, you can't see those.
Yeah.
But he gave me an Avengers comic, and I don't. It was
Whoa.
back when the Avengers was like so popular. Like when the movie came out, it was like in 2012. Because I'd be lying if I said that I've been into comics my entire life. Like my grandpa gave me a comic, and like I
We
wish I
don't
could
have
say
those.
that. I wish I could say that, but
No.
I can't.
Or like people that find them in their grandparents' garage.
Yeah,
like,
they're like, here, grandpa,
afterwards.
what's this? Our moms were like, Mija, you're not gonna be into that shit. You're like gonna be like into like, what were you? Well, we're not that bad. We liked Yu-Gi-Oh and
Yeah.
Pokemon and
oh,
stuff,
the
but
usuals.
superheroes came way later. when-
Batman was always in my life, but I was never like obsessed
like,
until
oh, I'm
after high
curious.
school.
Yeah, like I want to know what this
Yeah.
is. And okay, next question comes from my baby Ariel. Hi, Ariel. I love her. I've known her for quite a while. She lives in El Paso, by the way.
Oh really?
That's crazy. Like we could literally like go visit you
I know.
whenever we go to El Paso. But hi. Okay, her question is: do you think you'd survive a zombie apocalypse?
Good question. Cool
No.
question. Absolutely not. We are not Michonne.
We've actually had conversations like, what store did we go to? And you're like, look at all this equipment.
Yes, any hardware store.
There you go.
When I'm in a mall or a hardware store, I always tell my boyfriend, like, can you imagine if a zombie apocalypse broke out right now? Like, we would have to go to a hardware store, or like when we've been like in Home Depot or something. I'm
And
like,
he's all, that's the
we'd
first
be
thing you
set.
think of.
And then he always tells me really bad.
It's like we're looking for like a door, and that's what you're thinking about is like a zombie apocalypse. Honestly, like zombies are terrifying. Like I feel like I would get infected right away.
Yeah, me too.
like, or I'd be so paranoid that I'd be like, I don't
Yeah.
want to get infected. That I'd be the first one to get infected.
I know. Like
And-
you try to do something smart, like in the
And then you'd be
movies, and then
stupid,
you
and then
get
you-
bit. Like,
Like,
fuck, I can't
and then you
restart.
have to be like, do I chop my arm off? What do I do?
I
Like,
know.
do I kill me? Like, I don't have it in me. So honestly, as badass as I wish I was,
know.
as like you know, like as she said, like Michonne, but probably not. I'd cry and hide, and I'd probably end up like starving to death or something. Cause
That's always my phobia. I think like how quickly people would have to react to something like that. Like it would take me forever to bar up my.
or it reminds
windows
me
and
of like
stuff.
Dawn of the Dead. Like I know you haven't seen it in a while, but it's like when they don't know what the fuck is going on and they're in their bedroom and that little girl walks in and he's trying to see if she's okay and she just fucking bites his neck and
crazy.
rips the entire like skin off. Like what do you do if you were her?
I
Like
know.
you're trying to help your husband and then
Throw
he
him
becomes
to the
infected.
little girl. It's like no, get out.
So sorry Ariel, but I
We
think my
would not.
my cool streak just died down a little bit. 'cause
If we were badass though, to change the question, but keep talking about zombies, I would definitely want katanas as my weapon
that would
of
be
choice.
so fun.
What would
Just
you
be
pick?
like? Probably the same thing.
Yeah,
Because
they're
I
the
don't.
most badass
Because
weapon.
guns are really loud,
Yeah, exactly.
and you can't be like.
You can't.
You can't attract.
You never
more.
need to reload your sword. You just need to sharpen them.
Exactly.
Maybe.
If they're really long, you don't even have to go up close. You can just be
Yeah.
like, bam.
You could take
So
them
I'd
out like
probably be
Deadpool.
like
You like Deadpool?
Let's go and give it to your friend. That'd be so awesome. Next question comes from Colt. Do you think Captain Marvel will the Wonder Woman effect? Carol is more obscure, but the philosophy is still the same. I'm actually not as familiar with Captain Marvel.
Me also.
Not that I don't like Marvel, but I've never really.
I think that's a good thing then. Like we
It
don't.
is a good thing.
We're not familiar with her
See,
either.
because it's
And that'll help.
Exactly. Like I want to actually, like when her movie comes out, I actually want to be
Mhm.
intrigued. Like I want to be able to be like, I want to know what her story is.
Yeah. So it'll bring us in, and hopefully it'll work the same for other people. They'll be interested in her story.
She's
and
kind
stuff,
of the
so.
gateway of, like, to Marvel, like how Wonder Woman
She
was the
needs
gateway to
to be.
DC, like in a way too, like she could be the gateway to
Mhm.
to women in Marvel, because Marvel has some really amazing female characters too, but I've never, I guess because she's like into the X-Men, she loves X-Men, and I know that there's a bunch of kick-ass females in X-Men,
Yeah.
but when I think of one, I don't know like one that has been like strong enough, like her story has been strong enough to
Yeah.
kind of carry on. Because
So
I really,
if she has a good message like that, I think she will. I think females like us will be like finally another
like, fuck yeah.
awesome badass we could go see and get pumped up, you know. I
Yeah.
think
And I
she
hope
will.
it has the same effect that Wonder Woman does. I feel like we need that.
And Brie Larson is a really good actress, so I'm sure people
She
will
is amazing.
react to her.
I loved her in Kong.
I'm sure they will.
Next question is from Anthony. Hi, Anthony. It says, which character / comic literature or other would you like to see adapted into a movie?
Ooh.
So many good ones. Honestly, do you know how excited I was when they announced Flashpoint Paradox? That was one that I really did not think
That is a great
they would
storyline.
ever kind of bring to life. And then
know.
when you think of Jeffrey Dean Morgan, you're like, holy fuck, like he's such
Now
a
it
badass.
makes sense that they casted such known
Badassery.
people.
Yeah.
Like they did it. They had that plan since way before. Because now you're like, oh, that's why you
trying to see what you're doing.
cast
Because you think of it, you're like, how do you cast Jeffrey Dean Morgan and kill him off in like a second
he's,
in
like,
Batman vs
perfect.
Superman when he's like the perfect Thomas Wayne?
Yes. It's,
So now it's like you kind of get to
Brilliant.
see that. So it's like perfection. So I think
Mhm.
that one was one that was really shocking to me, but so amazing.
that's gonna be.
No, I hate
Well,
when that happens.
We're gonna have an upcoming video on it, and I doubt it'll get adapted. But to see Light's World come to life would be
Skin
awesome.
and Earth.
Skin and Earth.
Don't worry, we'll be talking about Skin and Earth very soon. We're just waiting on the issues to arrive because we want to be able to hold the physical copy.
Yeah.
And she sells like side A and side B, and it'd be cool for me to hold like side A and her side B,
Oh.
and we can kind of show them to you. So Skin and Earth is a comic book series by Lights, and it's really cool because it comes with an album. She has her album in the comics. So like if you're intrigued at all, they're out now. I mean, you don't have to wait for us,
Yeah.
but we're still gonna do
Get
a review on
familiar,
them.
so
Yes.
when we talk about it, you guys could like talk with us about it, and you guys won't get it spoiled or anything because there's like big stuff going on lately. And another one, I know they just did it, but nobody really reacted to it, was The Dark Tower from Stephen King, because it's like, it's so good, people. Like, it has so many different themes in there. Like, he was inspired by Lord of the Rings and by J.R.R. Tolkien, which who
She's
isn't?
a huge fan.
Yes, Lord of the Rings is amazing. And
That's
to see
her.
that even inspired Stephen King, somebody don't think
It's
would
like Stephen
that.
King is like a god,
I know,
and
and
like like to believe that, like to be like, oh, Stephen King was inspired by you, you'd be like,
that's insane. So when I read that, I was like even more intrigued to get into this, because it's like for sci-fi nerds, horror nerds, for everybody. Like it has something for everybody, but it's like really weird, and it's a big story. So I guess
so
that's
basically,
why
if
it
you're not
didn't do
familiar,
good.
she highly recommends it.
Yes, please read it.
And I feel like that was another movie that really didn't get.
I feel like if they should have put as much work into it and like marketing into it like they did it,
Because
if
the
they
actor's
would have.
amazing.
Yes,
I like that actor.
I love the casting. Like, Idris Elba is like a really good athlete. He's not an athlete. He's an actor.
It's okay.
And Matthew McConaughey is obviously a great actor too. So it's so good, you guys. That would've
It's
been
just, I
awesome.
feel, okay, here's another thing. Okay, we don't mean for the question to completely take a different turn, but
But
I
it's-
absolutely hate the fact that they do such huge marketing for things that people are so familiar with, but with uncharted territory, they don't do the same, and I feel that that's where they lag it.
Yeah.
Because then it doesn't make people interested, because then they're
So
like,
many
well,
missed
no one cares
opportunities.
about it, so
Yeah.
why am I gonna care about it? Like Blade Runner.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, like,
That's such a.
I haven't seen it, you guys. I haven't. Not because I don't want to, because I haven't had time to see it. But I've heard some amazing, amazing reviews, and people that have
Yeah.
seen it say
everybody
it's
loves
amazing.
it, but it bombed. Like
Exactly,
what?
like people don't support
they
it,
don't
but
go
yet.
see the good stuff, but they'll go see Fast and the Furious 10, and
Okay,
it'll make
yes.
$1 billion.
So first of all, if you're a Fast and the Furious
not to offend
fan,
people,
no
who like
offensive,
it,
but we're not. Okay,
We're over
we
it
think
since
it's
5.
the most overrated
Yes.
franchise ever made. Like,
They just try to do something more ridiculous the next
and
time.
it's like, we're gonna do something ridiculous because you
Yeah.
people give us money.
exactly.
So that's the reason why it's like with all these stupid reality
Yeah.
TV shows like MTV. Okay, so I'm sorry, but I have to do the MTV thing. I'm sorry,
I wrote a
but
paper about it.
16 and pregnant is not going to prevent girls from getting pregnant.
I know
It's gonna
they're gonna
want
think
them.
that's gonna get them famous nowadays.
Exactly. And then apart from Teen Mom, with the girls are 26 now, by the way.
Really?
They're our age, dude. And they're still called Teen Mom OG.
Oh.
And not to make it worse, they have Teen Mom.
Oh my god.
So now we're going to have British moms. And I know I completely went the different direction, but what I meant
Yeah.
is that they don't give the right advertisement
Yes.
to the right
And then they're just like,
things.
oh, people are interested. A lot of people probably miss it.
Exactly, like how she said with the Dark Tower, like we were saying with Blade Runner.
It's a huge
It's
missed opportunity, man.
fucking amazing masterpieces, yet they're not getting the attention they
Because
deserve.
it had actors and a director that cared
Plus,
about
ladies,
the movie.
it has Ryan Gosling. What more
Well,
could you
what do
ask?
mean? Just go. Do you support anything he's in?
Do it.
And it has a Joker for people like Jared
Fucking
Leto.
Jared Leto, hello.
Han Solo, come on.
If I could get the question. Next question is from Book Dragon Queen. Hi, I wanted to say that first of all, girl, you are the sweetest thing ever, and I'm gonna mail you your card soon. She's such a sweetheart. We're pen pals.
Oh, that's awesome.
She asked, how did you get into comics / were introduced to them? Mine would have to be my friend, like I said. He's been into comics. He's the cool guy. He actually got into comics because of his family. He's been
Oh,
around them
that's
since he
so
was
cool.
little. So he said that his
Whoa.
uncle introduced him to like Star Wars way back. Like he comes from the
Why
cool
didn't I have an
background,
uncle?
right? So
That is
I've been
super
friends
awesome.
with him since what, like my sophomore year? Well, not friends, but we knew of each other, and then later on, we kind of became friends. Now that he hates that superheroes are a trend, he said basically because now it's kind of annoying because those people that would pick on him now think superheroes are cool, and that's one thing that he hated. Because he even told me like really fast is that in PE we used to have to take reading material before we did our exercises. Did you ever have to do that?
Oh, yeah.
And he said that he would get picked on because he would take comic books. And he said that everybody would pick on him, like even the coach made comments.
Are you serious?
And now, oh my
It's
god.
a tell we're from people. And
Com-
you wonder.
Exactly.
That's
and
why
now,
we want other people to talk to.
but
That's
that
what we live
actually have loved them since forever, not because they're a trend now. What are they called? The bandwagon fans?
Yes, there's so many now of Wonder Woman too. We're like, we've been preaching her praises
And
for
we're not trying to
years,
say that
people.
We're not grateful that she got the
Yeah.
attention she deserved, but these are people
We've
that
been
are like,
saying that she deserves it, but now it's like, oh.
it's just annoying. Like, oh, now, oh, she's cool, so I like her now. But
We're so complicated.
I know
First
we
we
are
want more
complicated.
fans for them, and now
But
we don't like
not
more
people
fans.
from this town, you guys.
Yeah.
We have a love-hate relationship with these people. Okay, you have to understand these people were like our bullies.
Mm-hmm.
They were mean to us, and now they're like, "Oh my God, you're into the same stuff." It's like,
Yeah.
shut the fuck up.
And we're never gonna grow up.
Off the topic again. Just kidding. But he kind of got me into it. He would tell me like, you know what? If you ever want to read comics, I got them. And like I'm telling you, he has vaults of comics. Like he works at a pawn shop, and I'm serious. Like he has
That is
boxes
so
and boxes
awesome.
and boxes, and he would tell me, well, if you ever want to read some, here you go. You can't have them. He's like, but you can read them.
Oh, that's good.
And then later on, no, it's because you have to understand. Like if you had some badass Batman
Oh,
ones, would
yeah.
you want to give them away? No. But he was my introduction. Like he's actually the one that got me into Deadpool. And the funny thing is, he hated Deadpool,
Really?
and he had all kinds of comics of Deadpool. He's all, I only have comics of Deadpool that have Spider-Man in them,
Oh.
because he's a huge Spider-Man fan. And
That
one
makes
Christmas,
sense.
he gave me all the Deadpool comics. But he was kind of the one that was like, here. So I guess
That's cool.
I started to. That goes back in what, 2012? I think 2012. Like I was intrigued with superheroes before that, but that was actually when I was handed like a
Yeah.
comic book. So
That's awesome. Mine was actually when Batman Arkham Asylum came out.
The
My brother
games.
got it for free because he bought the PlayStation at the time, I think, and we like just went head over heels for. I went more head over heels than my brother, but we were obsessed. Like, those movies. We wish they were movies, but those games are amazing. So after that, I was just like, I want to know more.
Like, really fast. I love in a way that Ben Affleck's Batman has those like similarities. It's really cool. It's really cool.
On point, man.
It feels like you're playing the game, and it's like fucking Ben Affleck's
The warehouse
Batman.
scene, it's like perfect.
That was exactly like the game.
Like literally his movements, you're like, yeah.
It's like you're in the theater and you're off.
It's like punch. Yeah.
The little connects to you is like.
I think that was 2011 when I started ordering all those archived volumes of Batman and everything.
She has them here. Like, it's too much work to go get them, but she has like an entire bookcase where they're all there.
They're so nice.
So one of these days, maybe we'll like take them out and be able to like share them with you.
Because those are so interesting too. Like
the artwork too.
All the artwork and like the stories that they made at the time. Like, I'm just obsessed with all those older eras. That I'm like, that's amazing that they came out of those eras. Like.
And I love
awesome.
how when you're reading this material or just in general that you get lost. Like,
I know, man.
The real world ceases to exist and you're suddenly in Gotham City or you're suddenly like in Themyscira or you're suddenly like exactly or you're actually like you actually want to be there. Like Gotham is like the worst place to live in.
I know. But we want to be there so bad.
I made a joke one time. I'm like, I would purposely like drop myself off the building to have like Batman save me, and then like
again,
and then Superman would save me, and I'd be like, "Can you put me back?
Do you mind? Do you mind?"
So I
might to get saved by Batman, not you. Just kidding. Unless it was Henry Cavill, then you'd be like, "Take me,
just take me, just take me, Henry."
Oh, also speaking of the older Batman comics, we're way off topic, but that's okay.
Go ahead. Sorry, we do that a lot.
I love the older comics of Batman, and there is an issue out there that exists. If you guys could help me, I looked it up on Google, and I even asked the shop here that we have Phoenix and all them. The dad.
Oh yeah.
I asked him if they know about it because they know everything about Batman.
Like a little.
Literally, their
his
Batman
brain is like
historians.
an archive of comics.
Literally. And they have like rooms and rooms.
Oh, and by the
of
way,
them
we'll
too.
give them a shout out. It's called Infinite Possibilities.
They are
in case
really
you're
cool.
ever in the New Mexico area.
And I think they hadn't heard of it, but I know that I've seen it. That there's a comic out there that exists that has the Beatles with Batman. I've seen it, and I was like,
she's a huge Beatles fan, guys.
My mind, man.
She loves Ringo.
I love the Beatles.
Just kidding.
Everybody hates Ringo. That's me.
I'm not saying I hate him.
Me. Just leave him
Okay, Zoe Deschanel.
I love all of them.
But she's excited about that, and I don't know if you've heard it, but actually Landon got it for me. They have the Batman Masquerade one.
That's cool.
Because I'm a huge Phantom of the Opera
She'll
fan.
bring that later on too.
And I just like how she says that she's in love at the fact that they collaborated Batman with the Beatles.
Randomest thing.
That's how I was when I found out that existed. I was like, what the fuck? The Phantom of the Opera was Batman? That's perfect.
And apparently there's a comic out there that exists too, of Batman fighting Predator.
Sure. Oh, yes, I have. Fuck yeah.
So that's
Xenomorph should be next. Okay, Matt Williams asks, is there any specific comic book character you hope gets a movie soon? From any, like, DC or Marvel or anything?
I think...
You know who... Okay, I hope I don't get attacked by this, but honestly, I feel like the Joker origin movie wasn't necessary.
I love the concept, but I think that they shouldn't have put him in the DC EU then, and then maybe it would have been more exciting.
Exactly, because then it's like you give it Jared Leto, and then it's like, oh...
We're changing him again.
Sorry, it's like, and I feel like I said, we just said it. He's like the favorite from DC. It's like we're gonna give the Joker everything.
Yeah, I know.
You know,
and use the money and resources to do to like shine light on other ones. There's so many other good villains out there that are like, they're obviously worth to be Batman's adversary because they're like very complex and stuff. So.
But another thing too, okay, that I'm gonna say is I absolutely adore Batman, but I feel like they need to explore the world outside of Batman.
I know, like with Deathstroke, if they still do that, that's gonna be amazing. So they better still
what's
do
his
that.
name again? Joe. I can never say the last name.
Manganiello.
He is such a babe. Like he is so handsome. Like. Okay.
He is handsome, but he's gonna look so badass.
No, I know. Like, I'm not gonna say like, oh, he's gonna be so handsome.
No,
But I'm like,
no.
just thinking of him, it's kind of like,
be
wow,
badass.
they did such an amazing
build
cast.
for that.
But I feel like they could do something outside of like.
That's always been my brother's favorite is Deathstroke. Like that's why he's always loved him. So he was excited when he saw the footage. Is this real?
Is this real? Please let it be real.
Yeah. I would love to see another Elektra movie. I love
That'd be
her
really
so
cool
much.
to give her like another.
Like
Like
I can't talk today, sorry.
Like,
We know how to speak
another like
performance.
opportunity. That'd be really really cool because she's a badass.
I
think
always
she's really
loved
cool.
I always loved Jennifer Gardner, even though they hate those movies. I was always obsessed.
But they're kind of like guilty pleasures
stuff.
because like.
Heck yeah, I still
Because,
watch
like,
them.
this isn't a superhero related movie, dude, but I'm Mortal Kombat, man.
Mhm.
Like, there's such good, bad movies.
I know,
that,
I still like them anyway.
that you can't help it, but when you hear the song, like, Mortal Kombat.
I always love the lady who played
And then
Fidel
you watch
now.
it, you're like, that is such a terrible fight scene.
I know.
But you're like, it's so good.
It's so cheesy, but it was good. It was amazing at the time. We're like, whoa.
Well, she loves Sindel. No, what a coincidence.
I
She
love
loves Sindel, and I love Katana. It's perfect.
I know it works.
But we didn't really answer his question.
What was the question? Oh, I said Elektra.
Oh, yeah, she did. Okay, I didn't answer the question. I'm sorry. I'm trying to think, honestly. Like, that's kind of tough.
I know there's so many, but Elektra would definitely.
I
would
think
love
Elektra
to
would
do
be really cool.
If they would do Dark Phoenix too, if they would get it right. I know they're like starting that again, but nobody likes the track that Fox is on.
It's because I feel like many people aren't invested in the character. Like, it's kind of like why Black Widow never got her movie.
I know.
Because they love her, like, in the Avengers, and they loved her in Iron Man, but they're never like, oh, I'd go see, like, a movie of her in it. Like, she does, like, not in a bad way, but I think she does good as a side character. Like,
Yeah.
she's such a badass. Like, when I saw the Avengers, I'm like, fuck, she's so
I
gorgeous
know.
and she can kick ass, but having, like, her own movies kind of, like, not something that I'd be very, like...
Yeah, people aren't really invested in it, and that's why they don't want to do it. But I think that's more on Marvel and Disney for not putting as much focus on her, probably. But there's so many other amazing characters in Marvel's catalog that they could pick from that deserve to be on the screen.
Badass
Like,
females, like
if they would have done the X-Men right, like, I feel like people would be more invested. Like, the Wolverine is perfect. Like, the casting is fine. It's never with the casting, but they just
except
never
for,
do their
for
story.
Ryan Reynolds, even he agrees. We're just gonna not count that Deadpool, okay?
Nobody counts
the
that one.
rebirth of Deadpool.
Nobody
is the
counts
Deadpool we count.
Wolverine Origins. That's why they hate them so much, because they don't do a good job. But their stories are like so they're so relevant to the times now, and like people feeling like especially people like us feeling like outcasts and stuff like that, and their stories are like so good because they're so complex.
And that's another thing that I feel like certain superheroes are so relatable. Like, I feel like that's why Spider-Man has such a huge fan base, because he's so relatable. He's just a normal teenager that just happens to go through all this, because you can't relate to Bruce Wayne. You're like, I'm not rich. You can't relate to Wonder Woman. I mean, you wish you could, but you're like, I'm not from an island. And I'm not a
Perfectly
god,
flawless,
you know, like fucking,
strong.
like Gal Gadot, I could do no wrong.
Yeah.
And then it's like sometimes you like being able to relate to the underdog, kind of like The Flash, Barry Allen. You can kind of relate to him, especially like I like how they're taking Ezra's route a little differently, and like Cyborg.
I feel
his
like
story's
The Flash
so sad.
is us. Like, he's the fanboy
That'd be
that
us.
sees
Like,
what's going on. Like, this is amazing.
Like, he's just as strong as they are,
Yeah.
but it's like
He's a
considering
really
it.
big part of the team, obviously.
Exactly,
He's
but at the same
biggest
time, I
fanboy.
could imagine sitting there and being like, dude, that's Batman.
That's your side, dude.
Dude, we're in the Batmobile. You know, like,
know.
it'd be like, can you
It's your
focus?
Batmobile.
That's why I feel like that'd be us. So, honestly, I don't know. I don't know how to answer that, but I kind of go with her answer. I think Elektra would be really
I
badass.
loved her swords
She's
too. Are
really cool. Wasn't she
like
in
in
Daredevil?
Netflix, yes, I love. She like reignited my love for Elektra, and even if they would put her on the big screen, she would be perfect. She's awesome.
She's
Love her.
Next question. I think this is our last question.
Oh, wow.
I think it's. Do you say Gulak?
Gulak? Yeah.
Okay. Who are your fave heroes or villains from the DC Extended Universe and the Marvel Universe?
We've kind of been answering that question.
It's like
over and over.
we don't want to sound like a broken record,
I know.
but I think we've.
You can
answered
tell
that.
our number one is obviously Wonder Woman. We were gonna go into depth about it, about who we love.
We're gonna have another episode of where we
We'll
kind of
answer
talk
that,
about
I
top
promise.
female We're gonna have like female and male characters,
Yeah.
and we're gonna kind of do a countdown. But honestly,
I
like,
want to do like everybody though, not just comic book, because I want.
no, yeah, it could be like we don't want to
Leia.
like think just
Yeah.
that we're just invested in like this
We have
superhero
so
universe
many
because
other
we really
interests.
do.
Not to just be comic books, because we like love we love video games too, to incorporate them, and movies.
Laura Croft,
She's got to be on there.
she loved the trailer. I didn't. See, that's one thing we don't agree on.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
And we were like, you're not right.
You're not
You
right.
can't say that,
You can't
Roxy.
say that. I know. She disowned me. But well, I think that's all we have for now. But we will have like definitely lists. But this is probably a random thing to say. But like another one that I'm actually really happy that we're going back to the question like what would they like to adapt, and I'm really excited for Justice League Dark.
Oh yeah.
Zatanna is
I'm
my girl.
surprised.
Yeah, Zatanna is my girl. You guys would know that.
And
I love her.
Constantine is awesome.
He is the perfect. Oh, I love
He is
him so much.
intriguing.
He is
He's a underrated character. I think
that accent, man.
definitely deserved more attention.
That's why I was really surprised
I
on
don't
how
know why
good the
horror
Justice
fans
League Dark.
didn't like totally.
That was
dig into
actually
that.
one animated movie that you're like, holy
Yeah.
shit! Did you watch it?
I have.
Yeah, and I was like, wow. Like, yeah, that's what I was gonna say.
So
Actually,
for them to go for them, like,
I was gonna say that when they said,
Go
which
ahead,
character
Casey.
would you like for them to shine light on? I was gonna say
Screw it.
Constantine,
Zatanna.
but Zatanna and Constantine. But I'm like, they are kind of already.
well,
since
they're coming.
doing
Yeah, that's true.
Which, and just let all the girls be like, I love Zatanna. She's so pretty. Just kidding. I'm sorry.
Later on, there's gonna be a lot more Zatanna fans. Just like there's Wonder Woman now.
So she's not just a hot magician. She has powers. Yes. She has powers. Sorry, guys. It's just we deal with a lot
She's
of
an interesting
bandwagons.
character,
She
so
is.
that's
She's
cool.
my number 2. Like,
That's cool
Wonder
that her
Woman,
and
Zatanna.
Constantine are like perfect for each other.
I love that little feistiness
That's
that they
cool.
have. And, well, thank you guys for sending questions. We'll try to answer more down the road, and you can
Yeah.
ask questions on our Twitter. You could ask it on YouTube. You could even leave some on this video, and
Please.
we'll answer them. So, thank you so much.
Thank you guys. Bye.